Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and members of our community, it is my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to one of the most historic occasions in the history of the city of Crossville. My name is Valerie Hale, and I have the privilege to serve as the Crossville City Manager, and thank you for that opportunity. We are not gathering here just to break ground today, but we're laying the foundation for a healthier, more connected, and more vibrant community, as well as this facility will serve as a gateway to our downtown area, which will definitely enhance that area. We gather not only to celebrate our community in this facility, but to also acknowledge the dedicated individuals who worked tirelessly to carry this across the finish line. And you know that was a very difficult process, but we did it. This project would not be possible without the dedication of countless individuals, community leaders, and advocates. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank city staff for their patience with me through this project, as well as for all the setup that they've done today. I'd also like to acknowledge Nathan Klaus, Finance Director, and Bailey Ray, City Clerk. You might not know this, but we all started our positions together about 7 months ago. So needless to say, you could say we're all rookies. But these two are definitely the MVPs of this series, and I appreciate their help very much. Their commitment, as well as many others, has brought us to this point, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing a leader who embodies the spirit of our city, a visionary person who is committed to progress and growth of this community. Our mayor has shown unwavering dedication to this community, pushing initiatives that foster economic growth and promote the quality of life for everyone in the city of Crossville. Under his leadership, we have seen swift action and significant strides in community engagement and economic development. His passion for our city is evident, and his vision is clearly teeing us up for generational success. Please join me in welcoming the esteemed mayor of Crossville, Dr. R.J. Crawford.
I wasn't expecting that.
Uh-oh. Where's the guy's radio station? His thing fell.
I wasn't expected to get teed up like that. But thank you. That's a hard act to follow. My name is R.J. Crawford. I've been mayor for just about 2 years. Before that, I served as city council for 2 years. We've been very fortunate here. The last few months, we've done ribbon cutting for a terminal expansion at our airport, a brand new research and development hangar in partnership with Whisper Aero in the state of Tennessee. We just broke ground last week or 2 weeks ago with a new fire hall that'll have a state-of-the-art training center, as well as it'll be doubling the capacity of our ability to serve that area. And we've decided to move that to north of town to better handle the growth. And so that sets me up for this word growth. Very fortunate in my business to grow one office clinic into 5, serving 5 different counties. And that's kind of the growth mindset that I've kind of went about in regards to taking this position. And so we've been very successful, and we have some great news hopefully next year to release about economic development that we're looking to unfold. But the other thing that I kept hearing, and I hear it with my staff, because the age group that I have in my offices are those that are either looking to have children or do have children, and they struggle with this thing called childcare. They struggle with having things that anchor their kids here once they graduate high school. And so I thought, well, we're working on the jobs, making sure we have a very diverse market for jobs. But the other thing I think we're missing is some of these amenities. And so we're doing major expansions with trails you're going to see, but we felt like there was something missing. And so we did some research, and I know Councilman Shanks will be talking here about the genesis of this from more recently, but the reality is this thing that we are calling the rec center that we're partnering with the Y on has been a conversation that's went back to the mid-90s. In my research, there has been this desire and this call for some type of large recreation facility for this community. As recently as 2008, previous Mayor Graham was in discussion with the YMCA. It didn't happen, but through the fruitful efforts of this council and last council, we were able to make some headway. And I found out when I came in as mayor that if this thing was going to be done or be killed, it was going to be at my hand. And so I felt that it was necessary to figure out how much this thing was going to cost, could we get the price tag down to a level in which we could handle, as well as how could we creatively make sure that we got this thing paid for without raising the largest concern that I saw from this community, and people were worried about property taxes going up. And so I've got a handle to our city attorney, Randy York, who will be speaking later. We were able to look through, along with our municipal bond manager, we were able to look at different strategies that the state has as our toolbox. And we found the Sports Authority legislation that allowed for us to finance a facility of this size and magnitude, but do it in a way where we weren't putting it on the backs of our tax-paying citizens. And so going through the Sports Authority allowed for us to eliminate any possibility of this council or any council over the 30-year pay period to not raise property taxes, which I think was my biggest commitment to those people when I went door to door. And so we've been able to lower this price tag down from $55 million to $38, and I'm hoping if I can put them on the spot closer to 33, 34. We were able to secure a very good interest rate of about 4.3. And I'm not going to steal anyone's thunder, but we did everything we possibly could to be very fiscally responsible. And so the nice thing about going through the Sports Authority is it's all from consumption tax. And we're very fortunate to have had a lot of businesses come down that offer us more sales tax. And sales tax will be the driving factor to pay down the debt. And so that's exciting. I'm sure I stole some thunder from people, but I think it's important that we put that on the record. I'm so excited to be able to be here today. I think we are going to look back here in just a very few short years and recognize that this building is symbolic of where Crossville is going. We got a beautiful building. It's going to offer a lot of program amenities and things that are needed. But I think we're going to look back here and we're going to be very proud of what we are doing, not only as those of you here, but for the families that are starving for something like this, as well as future economic growth and development. And so with that, thank you all for being here. I'd like to go ahead and make sure that I recognize a few public officials, because I've learned, though I may not care, some people do. So we have a photographer here, and she brought along her assistant, Judge Gary McKenzie. I think you're here, yeah, assisting her today. We have County Commissioner Colleen Mall back here in the back. Thank you for being here. We have Tanner Cox from Senator Bill Haggerty's office. Where are you at, buddy? I saw you earlier. Thank you for being here. And I'm not sure if I've missed anybody else in regards to elected officials. Okay, well, good deal. So this is a team effort, folks. I want to thank our team here. I want to thank the engineering group. I want to thank, obviously, I know you mentioned already, I want to thank our city manager. She's an all-star. She is an alpha. That's a good comment. I like someone that's a doer. We've got Bailey Ray, who's now moving into city clerk position. She's been awesome, watches my back, keeps me in line. You ask my wife, that's a full-time job, so I appreciate your help. And then we got our finance director. I know these are all three new faces in new positions, but they all come with a lot of skill set, and we're already seeing the successes from them being here. I also want to thank some of our private partners, and so we partnered up with Upland Design Group. My good friend Kevin Chamberlain over here, Kevin and Kim over here. Kevin, Kim, thank you for being here. They've also recognized and found us a really good contractor, and we got American Constructors Group. We got Derek Martin right back here. We've got Chad Crow. We got the president and the senior project manager. And I want to personally thank Mike Terry, who's he's got a lot of skill sets. He's been around a long time, but he was able to help get the word out in the community. There's been a lot of false narrative, and I think he did a great job on getting the facts out there. And so, Mike Terry, I think I saw you earlier. Where did you move? Thank you for being here, my friend. And so, with that being said, I would like to ask One Bank and their representatives, Liz Fournette, Eamon Hitchcock, we got David Kinsler. We all come up here. And Gary Medley, sorry. And I think they brought their Secret Service staff. We got Joe Sabato here. So, do you want to hold that? So, there's a lot of people that use the word community, especially banks. And I've got to say, we've got a community bank here in this town that is stepping up, and I think it's important that we recognize them. And so One Bank has done an amazing thing. They have taken on the first $3 million of our debt service. 5 million, sorry, my bad, close to 5 million. That's a big deal. They didn't have to do that. That's them stepping in and saying, look, we believe in this community. We believe in our relationship with the city. And I think as the mayor, it means a lot to me. Full disclosure, I do my business banking with them. Joe's my guy. But it's very important because we've asked around a lot of different banks in this town, and these guys and gals stepped up within the first 24 hours. So that's a big deal. And so I have a few privileges as mayor. And so one of those is recognizing key individuals in our community and those that give back to us. And I'm able to give this thing called a key to the city away. We pulled it out of the vault. And so I want to recognize Liz here. You know, her family is before it was one bank, obviously it was Kerman County Bank up here. They have been involved in this community for a long time, so this is not a surprise that they're doing this, but it's still important to me to recognize one bank. They're family owned, they're in this community, and I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, Liz, and your team for just doing an amazing job and being a part of it and being willing to do that.
Wow.
So there is a vault, and I'll show you how to unlock it.
That's so cool, thank you.
Would you like to say anything? I think it's important that we recognize that.
We've been here in Crossville. Well, we opened in 1901, but we've been in Crossville since '85, I think, and have been part of this community. And I live in Monterey, so this is I'm kind of living your suburbs, maybe with a little stretch of the imagination. But anyway, I believe in the why, and I believe in what this partnership is going to do. So this is an excellent opportunity for this community and an excellent opportunity for the why, I think, to work together. So I'm excited about being a part of it. So thank y'all so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all.
Hey guys, could y'all turn around just for a second here?
All right. And so what I'd like to do now is, as I mentioned, we formed a sports authority that will be taking over the facility in partnership with the YMCA. And I'd like to bring up their fearless leader, Tracy Barnes, to give some comments and introduce the board. Fearless leader.
Fearless leader. Just so. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I get the microphone to represent the Sports Authority, so let me first start off by recognizing its members. Lou Morrison. There you are. I see you. Brock Hill. Rob Patton. Cheryl Webb. I saw you. Mark Moore. And Ethan Hadley. On behalf of the Sports Authority, I would like to acknowledge the City Council's unwavering commitment to our community. It is because of your vision that we are all standing here today at this very momentous occasion. And it is the tireless work of our City Manager Valerie Hill and her wonderful team that have paved the way for this important initiative. So thank you very much. Including in our team of star players, as I call them, we also have Larry Kidwell, Ben Regan, and Randy York. Your invaluable expertise, your insights, and your guidance throughout this process have been instrumental in shaping our plans and keeping us moving in the right direction. Wouldn't you say that? It was hard, wasn't it? Today's groundbreaking marks a significant milestone as we embark on a partnership with the YMCA that we're very excited about. This collaboration is not going to only enhance our community, it's going to strengthen the bonds between our youth and our seniors, which I think is very important. It's going to create a welcoming space where individuals of all ages can come together to learn from one another, to foster some meaningful relationships and build a stronger Crossville. I want to thank you all for your support on this and all the hard work of everybody up here, and all of you, you know who you are. And let's look forward to a bright future for our community, right? Yes.
Well, we mentioned that we decided to partner with the YMCA, so I thought it was important that we brought up Mandy, who has been instrumental from the YMCA's perspective. She's just a short trip down the hill working at the Cookville, what do you call it, I guess, rec center down there. So I'd like to bring her up to give her some time to make mention of what they're planning to do, and also recognize some key important players from the YMCA. So Mandy Perhager, come on up.
Good afternoon, everyone, and what a beautiful day this is. And not just because we've dodged rain and the wind has calmed a little bit, but because we're breaking ground on something truly special. This YMCA represents more than just a building. It's a symbol of hope, opportunity, and community. And this has all been made possible by the strong partnership between the Y, the City of Crossville, and the Sports Authority. I want to start by thanking city officials and everyone involved in their unwavering support and vision to bringing this project to life. Without this collaboration, we wouldn't be standing here today, ready to embark on a journey that is going to change lives. This Y and every Y is so much more than fitness and sports. It is at its very core about people. It's about youth development, helping families thrive and grow together, a sense of belonging, and I have no doubt that this Y will become the heart of the Crossville community. I'd like to take a second to recognize anybody attached to the YMCA. Please wave your hands. I've got board and staff here, as well as my poor family who I've dragged up here many times to see this, so we're excited to be here. But we're building more than just a structure of bricks and mortar today. We're building a future where children can learn, adults can find support in their wellness journeys, and everyone in Crossville can experience the benefit of community and connection. To the City of Crossville and the Sports Authority, thank you once again. This is going to be a tremendous partnership. The Y is here because of your belief in what we can achieve together. And for everyone here today, whether you've contributed your time, your resources, ideas, or simply encouragement, this is your Y. And this moment is yours as much as it is ours. Each of you have played a part in making this vision a reality, and every single effort matters. So when we get to walk into this new facility 18 to 20 months from now, I'm holding you to it, by the way, so it will carry the spirit of dedication and dreams to this entire community. We will lay this foundation not just for a building, but for something that will serve and uplift everyone in Crossville for generations to come. Thank you for being here, and thanks for going on this journey with us. It's going to be extraordinary.
Thank you, Mandy. Look forward to it. Very exciting times. Next up, I got to bring up my good friend and the city attorney and the Sports Authority's attorney. He's been, like I would consider, the conductor. He's held us together. He's helped us get things across this finish line. And he was instrumental in helping us creatively find a way to make sure that this thing got passed without having to raise property taxes. That's a huge deal. So I want to thank personally Randy York as a friend, as the mayor. Thank you, and further ado, my friend.
Wow, that wind is something. 2 years ago, I became the city attorney, and frankly, I didn't know any of the city council members really, and I didn't know the mayor. And over the last 2 years, I found that we have a common thread, and that is commitment and dedication and purpose to the city of Crossville and to the people of Crossville. When they said that it was an undying commitment to have this built for the city of Crossville, that's true. And when, lots of times lawyers get involved in things because their clients tell them to do certain things, and they really don't believe in it. But as it gets to this point, I can tell you without question, I believe in the YMCA and what it does. The genesis of this, as you'll hear, started decades ago. But there was a time to stop talking and a time to start doing. And this council was fully committed to doing that, and doing it in a way so as not to raise city taxes. So when I started on this project, there was one thing in mind, and that was family. And what everybody was saying is, this is for the kids. So with that in mind, I want to introduce my grandchildren. This is Rylan and Eli. And my wife and my mom and my sister, because this is something from young to old. This is something that can help all people. And but it's always been about the kids for me. So when you start thinking about everybody that we need to pay tribute to, I think the first is God. Because without God, none of us would be here, and this project would not be off center. I have to thank my friend Larry Kidwell. Without his genius and his knowledge, his bonds as a municipal advisor and leading us through this, it wouldn't have gotten done. Without bond counsel Ben Reagan, who could not be here today, you know, it's almost like we've got this love affair going, because he calls me all the time. It's on weekends and nights and everything, but it's always about the why, always about what we've got to do. And as late as this morning, we were still finishing up documents, and he's doing his work to complete things ready for the sale of these bonds. And I also want to thank One Bank. Thank y'all for stepping up and being there, being part of this family. It's amazing what happens when good people work together, and no one is seeking the glory. Not one person. This has been a team effort. And it's not about glory to any one person or any one organization. It's been collaborative. Valerie, Bailey, Nathan, there was something about bringing that team together, because crunching those numbers and being there and making sure everything was done. Bailey, she saved our bacon several times already and will in the future. But all I can say is thank you all. Thank you all for being here. And I'll tell you, after everything that's going on, we had a presentation to increase the credit rating for the city of Crossville. And if you could, after watching that presentation, if you weren't excited about the city of Crossville, then you need to go to Cumberland Medical Center and check your pulse. This is a vibrant, growing community, and I am so proud and honored to be part of it. Thank you so much.
Next up, I got a few council members that wish to speak, so hopefully some of the hot air they'll breathe will calm down this wind a little bit. With that being said, I'd like to bring up Councilman Rob Harrison to say some words.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor, and everybody. And I've been sitting here trying to think. Everybody said all the good stuff, but it did occur to me that when I got on the council in 2018, that what I wanted to achieve was economic development. So off we went, and we were doing going to conferences and trying to do economic development. And somewhere along the line, James Mayberry mentioned to me, he said, you know, you can't have economic development without community first. And that's always stuck with me. You got to build community to be able to have economic development. And the wonderful thing about this project is it checks both boxes. It's community development in all its glorious color, and a wonderful range of services and outreach that the Y does and will do. And it also helps with things like recruiting at the hospital. Randy Davis back here fights every day to try to get doctors to come here. We worked on it for 20 years trying to get people to move here, and as Art said, this doesn't check all the boxes. It's not the be-all end-all, but it's a major thing that people will see and will notice that there are lots of amenities here, and I would love to move my family here. So anyway, I think it's a great day for Crossville, and thank you all for being here.
Next up, Councilman Mike Turner.
Thank you all for being here, and I call them Cumberland County Bank. It's one bank. I have a special bond with the bank. Me, Randy Elmore, and Jack Ray were very close, and thank you all for being here. Your family to me, and thank everyone. This is going to be a good thing. I've always said it's going to be a good thing for Crossville. I had my worries, as some other people, some of us had worries. How are we going to pay for it? But at the end of the day, I think it'll be great. When I was a boy in Oak Ridge, we didn't have a YMCA. We had a boys club, and it really helped my mother out to have a boys club with two rambunctious boys after school and in the summer. But at the end of the day, it'll be good, and there'll be a lot of children enjoy this as well as adults. I think it'll be a good thing, and I support it 100%. And I've always supported the Y. Thank you.
Next up, I'll bring Councilman Art Grant.
Thank you, sir. Well, I am especially excited to be here today. I thought this day wouldn't come. It came in a time where I'm anxiety riddled, and we've been dealing with this for 6 years, and so I'm especially excited to be here. And I'd like to also a couple people just want to throw a couple shout outs to. One, our former mayor Mayberry. He was involved early on in getting the ball rolling here, and he was especially involved with some economic development in our community, which is allowing us to do this today. So I'm especially I'm grateful for him as well. Also like to thank Greg Wood for all the work he did leading up to this. He wasn't here to see this day, but he's still here. He just wasn't. He's not working. He's fine. So anyhow. I'm just so excited for this day. I joined the council 6 years ago. It's been a long and winding road to get here, and so I think Scott's going to talk about some of that, right, or no, maybe. So I'll leave that to him. And I just want to thank everybody. I know there's a lot of people here who've had parts in it. I see some of my friends from the chamber days who we've had many a time spending conversations on what ways that we can make Crossville better, and it's just glad to be here and be a part of this and be a part of this with all my friends and family. So I appreciate you. Thank you.
Last but not least, Councilman Scott Shanks.
First of all, I'm just tickled to death to see how many people are here. I had no clue there would be this many people here, and I thought we were coming and just going to be doing a groundbreaking. I didn't know that we were going to do all this, so I did make some quick notes because wanted to fill some gaps in possibly. Just got to thinking about sort of my road for how this all this came to be. I know that I had I thought we should have a rec center for years, as in like when my daughter was 3 or 4, and I know that I was starting to hear about it, and I thought, oh, finally, we're going to have it. Well, she's 35 now. So I'm I always said I really felt like she's an amazing swimmer, but she never got to swim competitively, so we'll never know. I always said I probably have an electric swimmer in my family, but we'll never know. But there's always my granddaughter. So we've been talking about the rec center probably in the last session, probably for, I want to say 6 years now that we've been seriously talking through this. And I know when the news sort of came out that when we were told by the consultants, we're looking at a $600,000 to $800,000 deficit. That was like, whoo, boy, $600,000 to $800,000 deficit every year to run this thing. And that really, from a business side of things, I really had some concerns over that. And that's when, Larry Kidwell's the one that mentioned, have you ever thought about YMCA? And I want to say with Larry, Larry's our financial advisor, but he really helped a lot in a lot of these steps going along the way. I really feel like without Larry being in that position, I really question that this would have ever happened. But anyway, from that, I took it upon myself to go to the Cookeville Y and go meet with Mandy Perhay, which we did, we think, about 2 years ago, and just talked with her a little bit about it. And from there, I also sort of took it on myself to go visit about 12 to 15 more YMCAs, and I became really sold on YMCAs. Just really thought it was great. Next was the sort of a marketing effort, and actually the idea for going the marketing effort was from you, Randy. Randy just mentioned to me, goes, really need to come up with somebody to do some marketing. So I decided to, sort of, I guess, take that upon myself and say, okay, how can we go about doing that? And I called my good friend Sean Stevens, who's really good in that area, and he goes, that's not really an area for him, but he gave me a name of Beecher Frazier, who I did not know Beecher Frazier, but I found out a lot of people around here do, and he's in Nashville and really knows what he's doing, and it wasn't anything he could do, but that's what directed us to Mike Terry. And Mike, you've been wonderful. I mean, just great in what you've done. And the other thing with Beecher, that it was always good to have those people that would tell me, and Beecher said this to me, he goes, he was very involved with the Titan Stadium, and he does a lot of really big things. He says, and he's from here originally, Crossville has to have this at the time, rec center, YMCA, whatever it's going to be. And when I hear those kind of things from people like him, I can't tell you how much that helps. And the people that, like in my Rotary Club, different folks that are reaching out to me, sending me the texts and everything, saying, don't let up on this. You've got to keep moving forward. I really want to thank James Mayberry, as we mentioned earlier, but he's been a real key in moving forward with this. I did have a gentleman. A lot of times when you have somebody wants to talk to you about the Y, I had a gentleman that's actually in our Rotary Club, and he's an older gentleman, older than me. So if you're older than me, you're old. And I'm 63, and he brought me to the side and he just said, Crossville has no idea what good will come from this YMCA. Because I was expecting him even possibly say, you really sure you want to spend all this money in doing this? That's really what I was sort of bracing for. I didn't have a lot of that. I really had a lot of folks, that are always reaching out, and what a great idea this was. I want to thank Rob Harrison for his financial analysis of this. He spent a lot of time in doing that and figuring out, yes, we can pay for this thing with sales tax, and I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody on City Council. I mean, everybody supported this. It was a 5-0 vote, and I'm very, very excited about that. And last but not least, I really want to thank Val and your staff. You guys are taken for granted. You really are. They do a great job. Just do a marvelous job. So I want to see, I don't think I've made all mine, I just made my quick notes, but I really appreciate everybody. It's been I just can't, and part of me can't believe it's really happening. And Mandy in the Y in Cookeville is going to be such an incredible partner. She is so highly spoken of amongst all the YMCAs in Tennessee. She is very, and that's another one. I'm not sure that this would have ever happened if we didn't have Mandy in the position she's in. So I'm so tickled for that. But thank you all. Appreciate it.
All right, let's post some dirt. Can we do that? All right, thank you all for being here. We've got the YMCA group here. We have our architects and contractors. So if you have certain questions that you want to ask, there's people here. Get your questions answered. There's a beautiful rendition of what this thing's going to look like. And it's going to be facing right towards that way. So thanks for being here. Let's get some dirt in the ground.
3, 2, 1, dig!